Good morning, my name is John Studnek, Deputy Director, Mecklenburg EMS Agency. Thanks for coming today. I want to talk to you about ambulance strike team response here in Mecklenburg County, federal assets that we've received from the North Carolina Office of EMS. On August 8th of 2021, Medic made a request through Charlotte Mecklenburg Emergency Management for 3 ambulance strike teams comprised of 15 ambulance and 30 personnel. At 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, I was informed that Mecklenburg County would be receiving 1 ambulance strike team comprised of 5 ambulances and 10 personnel. This ambulance strike team is tasked to Mecklenburg County through at least October 9th and may be extended depending upon our use. At 9 o'clock this morning, members of that strike team were dispatched on their first calls within Mecklenburg County. So why did we make a request for an ambulance strike team here in Mecklenburg County? Since March of 2020, our care providers have been on the front line of the COVID-19 pandemic and have been working hard to protect the citizens of Mecklenburg County. Since January of 2021, when we had our last surge in COVID cases, we have seen an increase in transport volume of over 17%. In January of 2021, we were transporting 294 patients a day, and in August of last month, we were transporting 343 patients a day. And due to a nationwide shortage in EMTs and paramedics, we have been doing this with a decreased staff. We are currently short 28 care providers. Our crews have been working mandatory overtime since July, and they are tired and the system is stressed. So how will we be using these strike teams? Ambulance Strike Team 1 will provide extra resources to our non-emergency transport operations and will facilitate expedited movement of patients out of hospitals to their home or other residential care facilities. This will help Mecklenburg County in 2 specific ways. Number 1, these resources will assist in opening up hospital capacity and improve throughput, allowing our ambulances to clear hospitals quicker and giving hospitals some extra space on discharges and opportunities to move patients. Number 2, Medic's non-emergency resources will be redeployed into the 911 system to assure we have adequate staff to respond timely to life-threatening emergencies. So at this time, I'd be happy to take any questions you may have about how we will be utilizing these ambulance strike teams.
Okay, so you guys can't keep the ambulances once the agreement is over.
Right, these are federal assets that have been provided to us by FEMA, coordinated through the North Carolina Office of EMS. These are temporary assets that will return to FEMA upon completion of their mission.
You said that a lot of your staff have been going overtime to meet the need. How long have they been doing that, and how has that affected you?
So we've had mandatory overtime in place since July, asking folks to work 2 extra shifts a month, and have been paying incentives for shifts above those 2 mandatory overtime shifts per month. And our staff is tired. We've been producing an adequate number of ambulances a day to meet our need, but the fatigue is becoming apparent, and we are hoping that this strike team will provide some relief.
Have you been able to maintain response times?
Yes, we have been able to maintain response times, and the reason we're asking for this strike team, we made the request in August, was to have mitigation strategies in place so that response times would not become an issue. And that is our whole purpose for taking these actions now. It is better to be prepared and maintain timely response to life-threatening emergencies than get behind the 8 ball and cause stress to our patients and to our system.
You made the request in early August, now late September. Do you still have the demand that you had there in early August when you made the request?
So thanks for that question. Relative to demand, our demand has remained stable in our transport volumes. And we've seen the staffing shortage remain stable since August as well. Obviously, we would have preferred to have our strike team request met sooner, and it has to go through the approval process, so we understand those issues. We will use them now until they decide to retask them to help support our system.
How is the ambulances themselves? I know in past years we've had stories about engines being
So Medic's fleet is taken care of by our on-site fleet maintenance team, which is top-notch. Frankly, I'm biased, but I think they're the best in the country at what they do in making sure we have vehicles that are safe to operate and able to work in our system. Over the last 2 years, we've made a dedicated effort to transition off of the troublesome Navistar chassis and onto a Dodge platform. More than 75% of our fleet is on that Dodge platform, which is highly reliable, and we're very happy with the ambulances that we have operating in the system today.
And what other steps are you all doing? Are you doing anything outreach to local community colleges to try to get those positions?
Yeah, so our HR team is dedicated, their recruitment specialist and our other HR generalists to focus on recruitment and retention within our organization. We have a community college here in Mecklenburg County that trains EMTs. We recruit from them very heavily. We also have incentives here at Medic for EMTs that work for Medic to help them with their expenses and time off and ability to attend classes to become paramedics. And so we push those programs here with our local EMTs, and we recruit EMTs and paramedics from around the state and the country.
Do you expect the extra ambulances to stick around longer than 10 days?
So our hope is that we can demonstrate the need in Mecklenburg County for hospital decompression, running these non-emergency transport calls. We will continue to converse with the state and ask that our full request of 15 ambulances and 30 personnel be met.
Well, that's a big increase from what you guys, because right now you're at 10 people.
Yes, we are.
You guys wanted 30.
And the reason we made the request for 30 personnel and 15 ambulances is if that request is fulfilled, we would be able to reduce the mandatory overtime that our folks are working right now and be able to really take some of the stress off of those providers. With the resources we've been given, we expect to see some decrease in workload, but clearly the full request is what we still are asking for and are working with our local, state, and federal partners to get that request fulfilled.
What's the reason for the staffing shortages?
There's a national shortage of EMTs and paramedics, and frankly of all types of healthcare providers. The pandemic has really highlighted the dangers of working in healthcare and in EMS in particular. It's a difficult job, and recruiting folks to work in that type of environment has proven difficult. We also had issues early in the pandemic where there were some slowdowns in the primary education process for EMTs and paramedics, so the pipeline is not as full as it has been in the past. So we are waiting for that to refill.
And John, you know, Novant just had to lay off a bunch of workers for not getting the vaccine. I know your vaccine deadline is coming up in a couple of weeks. Are you worried that maybe some employees may be let go?
Our vaccination deadline is October 22nd, in which they have to indicate that they're either fully vaccinated or have an appropriate medical or religious declination. And right now our teams are working very hard to communicate with our staff about the choices they have to make. And I'm very happy to report that 84% of our staff as of last week is vaccinated, and our supervisors are having face-to-face conversations with those who haven't made a choice regarding vaccination or declination this week and next week. While we hope that folks continue to choose to work at Medic, we are offering individuals a choice. We hope they make the one that is best for them and for our community, and that's to go get vaccinated.
You said you had a 17% or 17% increase in enrollment since January. How do you know the percentage-wise of how many of those are COVID-related?
So in the last month of August, we saw an increase in COVID calls from 10 to 12 a day to 20 to 25 a day. And now we're sitting back around 15. So we've seen a little bit of an arc in those COVID calls, and right now we're looking to be on a bit of a decline for daily COVID cases, which is fantastic to see, and we hope that the community continues their efforts in masking and other mitigation strategies, continues to get vaccinated, so we can see those numbers continue to decrease into this fall.
Take one more question.
I know we spoke before about how vaccination has really helped prevent more COVID
we're happy to report that we only have 3 current employees that are ill with COVID, and they're all very mild cases. We expect them to clear their isolation period and return to work relatively quickly. And so we're very happy that those numbers have remained low.
Anything else you want to say to the community or how they can help?
You know, relative to ambulance response, we want the community to be assured that if you call 911 and have a medical emergency, a medic ambulance and medic staff will respond to your home or location, and you will receive top-notch medical care, as you always have in this community. And if you are not experiencing a medical emergency, outreach to your physician group, try to use telemedicine or other healthcare options before you activate the 911 system. We appreciate the support of the community, and we really want to emphasize that the best way through this pandemic is to go get vaccinated, take care of each other, and support each other. Thank you.
Thanks, John.